Welcome to the Mostly Traverse City podcast, featuring our hosts, Julie Bronze and Dom Pichet. This is the editor herself speaking, Zoe Klein. Happy 52nd episode, listeners. After editing a year of weekly episodes, I'm proud to say every one of these stories is a powerful one. So stay tuned and get to know your community. Enjoy the show. You're listening to the Mostly Traverse City podcast.
Welcome to the Mostly Traverse City podcast, and we are here today with a couple of folks that are here in Traverse City now that you are going to just love to meet. Chip and Lisa Sinclair, welcome to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. I got a chance three weeks ago. I picked up this book, The Butterfly Garden. This is a memoir, Chip's life story. And it's Chip and Lisa's life story. And not going to spill the beans about this book. We'll talk a little bit about it, but fascinating story. We are blessed by this couple being in our community. So I want to know, you guys are not from here, you're downstate. What brought you to Traverse City, Michigan?
First of all, I got to say we're equally as blessed to be here. Pinch ourselves every day. We just love being a part of the community. You know, originally, so Lisa and I met in high school 34 years ago. And married for 26.
What high school was that?
So we went to Southfield Lathrop High School.
Oh, okay, Southfield Lathrop.
Village, Southeast Michigan. And I was a senior and Lisa was a junior. And, you know, for most of our marriage, we would vacation up here. So this was a safe place.
Yeah.
This is where we regenerated our creative juices. This is where we...
Past the Zilwaukee Bridge.
Something happens, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
And we just fell in love with all of northern Michigan, but Traverse City is special in particular. And so during COVID, of all the negative things that happened during COVID, it gave us a chance to really rethink what we were doing. We work remote, we ghostwrite and write scripts and all sorts of things, and we have a foundation.
What do you mean you write scripts?
Yeah, so after the memoir came out that you referenced, we were approached by lots of different publishers, different individuals who wanted us to ghostwrite their stories.
Really?
So we've ghostwritten over 80 books now.
Jesus!
With all kinds of individuals, getting a lot of contracts with major publishers, also especially Forbes Books and Entrepreneur, the imprint that does the Forbes brand. So we've worked with great entrepreneurs, CEOs of Fortune 50, Fortune 500 companies, telling their corporate story, always with that personal edge. Everything we do is creative storytelling for a better world. So we work together on doing all those books. And
that's amazing. I didn't know that's what you. So you bring storytelling, and that's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, TCAPs, but storytelling has been handed down for thousands of years. That's how we learn best, and good on you guys. So you bring this storytelling, creativity, and that kind of stuff to the community, and I guess we can talk a little bit about this now. Your book is fascinating, okay? I don't want to spill the beans, but let's just say Chip had a rough time growing up until he found this one girl. And you bring the reality of that story to some way for other people to be able to try to manage better.
Yeah. You know, it really became a passion and then a life's mission for us. And we often say, at least I do, two of the best days of my life were when I met and married Lisa. And then when we moved to Traverse City, because it's always felt like home for us. And
why does it feel like home here? Like, what is it about being here that allows your shoulders to drop and a deep breath to happen?
There's so much going on in our worlds. We always went to Crystal Mountain. We always tried to.
So, like when you were down there, that was the escape.
That's where we went.
Gotcha.
We would
That was
drive
the
through
hub.
Traverse City. I mean, this was our fun spot. We did just so much driving and reflecting and really processing everything that was going on in our worlds and connecting. I think we found a way to unwind and connect in such a way up here that it was transformational. It was so quick and so just rejuvenating. So,
and you know we love the beach. You know, if we can be by water, we're in our happy place, right? So with the beaches up here in Traverse City, with the restaurants, we're foodies, right?
Yeah.
And so there's no shortage of restaurants, wineries, breweries, just everything you could want. It's that small town feel, but the sophistication and still this community, this closeness, the friendliness.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Like, and you guys have been here how long? How many years? Okay.
So going on 6 years now.
Yeah.
And you came in, well, that wasn't the easiest time to be coming up here. That was COVID years and stuff like that. And so what has been your experience like coming into the community in terms of connecting, and what were some of the strategies that you guys use to connect with other people? I mean, it's nice to be here and it's pretty, but after a little bit, he was like, wonder who those people, I'd like to have some other friends, except for you, Chip. I mean, you're nice and everything.
Yeah,
but
well,
Our greatest concern was really, we looked at this as a vacation spot.
Yeah.
We did not want to come up here and become complacent, because our work with our charity, really first and foremost, above even our ghostwriting and all the work that we do in our storytelling.
looks like our child.
It is like our child, and I think it was like that was the one sticking point. And when the pandemic happened and some of our programming had to go virtual, and it really got us to thinking that we work remotely anyway, and we love being up in Traverse City, and could this work? And so then when we made the move, we really relied on those in the restaurant business and those at the resort and different places that we know to start building our database of resources that would be interested in what we're doing. And we were so concerned that we would become complacent, but we work harder than we've ever worked up here, and it doesn't feel like
and
work.
love it. And we would reach out to the contacts we know and tell them what we're looking to do with the foundation. And more than willing, open arms. Hey, let me introduce you to this person.
Yeah,
We'll go to an event, and then it just blossomed.
I think that's the one thing about Traverse City, and is that it's like, I can't help you, but I know who can.
That's right.
And I think that's part of the reason that Julie and I are doing this podcast, is we want that just to be the norm. We want everybody to come to this community and feel like, wow, I can ask for help.
Yeah.
And that's
mindful, good-hearted people.
I think so. I think that people innately want to be able to help.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they can live in places where nobody ever asks.
Well, that's it. Living in Metro Detroit, it had its pockets of nice, tight-knit
cohesion
communities.
and
Sure, but you get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
You're a face in the crowd a lot of times, and you never feel like that here. And so now when you go into a restaurant, you're at least seeing a couple people and it's just you feel home. It feels like a hometown.
Well, that's I'm grateful that you're here, and one of the reasons I'm grateful is that your story, and we'll talk a little bit about it. Sure. You guys, Chip. You wrote this book, The Butterfly Garden. It's your memoir. Why don't you, quickly just kind of share what happened and then what's the story?
Yeah, for sure. So, it really begins when I was super young. I grew up facing quite a bit of trauma as a young person. If anyone's familiar with what an ACE test is, Adverse Childhood Experiences, it's kind of like a questionnaire from 1 to 10, and kind of poses different forms of trauma you could potentially face as a child. Mine would have been a 10. And the statistically that it shows that a score of 4 or higher means you're 2 times more likely to have a stroke. You're 2.5 more times more likely to have diabetes or cancer. You're 80 times more likely to suffer from depression and addiction and all these things.
You mean it doesn't have to do with your genes?
Yes. Environments, we believe.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Just about all of it,
Factor,
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
is a huge factor. And so my environment was dark, to say the least. My father threw me out of a rowboat into Lake Michigan when I was young, hundreds of yards out, and rowed away. And all I had in my mind was a poem I had recently read called Invictus. I was a voracious reader even at 8 years old, and I remember
that's your hideaway.
That was my escape. And little did I know the sort of the neuroscience behind what was happening, and that was giving my body a bit of a reprieve from what I was dealing with, and even a little guidance in all the books I would read. But that poem Invictus became a mantra for me. The last lines being, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." And I knew no matter what would happen, I moved over 30 times from Southeast Michigan all around the country until I finally met Lisa when I was 17. I knew that I'd be okay with the arts and literature behind me.
Amazing. You're going to want to get this book. Is it available in Traverse City?
Yeah, Horizon. Yeah,
Horizon
yep,
Books.
yep. Yeah, we actually did a book signing at one point up here, and
So
it
that's
should be
it.
available.
It's unbelievable. I read this book twice in the last 2 weeks, and I still can't believe it. And what's cool is, everybody comes to this community and they have a story. The story you survived. The story you have helps other people thrive. And what's cool is what these guys are doing is taking that survival experience and helping other people thrive as a result of it. And to me, that's community. That's I can't speak for everybody else, but my wife and I love the fact that people want serving others to be, the first and foremost thing in your life. And read this book. You're going to see a lot more of this couple here as time goes on. It is simply amazing. What's your perfect day in Traverse City so far, 6 years in? What does it look like? Ooh. The beach was mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
There's so many beautiful things about each season. I think I love the most perfect day would be getting in a canoe and going down the Platte River.
Oh, the Platte River. Okay.
It's just familiar. We need to branch out a bit, but I'm sure there's some lovely rivers up here. But just going out there and listening to nature, it's just so tranquil, so quiet, and
Yeah, we like in the summertime, spring, fall, to go for our walks around the trails. We live close to the Tart Trail, and it's just beautiful. And then the beach, there's nothing better than being on one of the beautiful beaches here in Traverse City, and then finishing off in one of the restaurants.
Yeah,
there's nothing better.
Go ahead, plug them. What's yours?
Red Ginger is probably one of our
Red
favorites
Ginger.
in town. The Cook's House is another great one.
Pass. I mean, it's
It's a bit of a drive. Stella. It's hard to. It's hard.
That's another thing. There's just so many fabulous.
It's like a flavor of ice cream.
Taproot.
You feel like a different flavor sometimes. Yeah, Taproot's fantastic.
Yeah,
So-
we are blessed in that way too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna kind of last question here, Chip. People who know you well, what do you think they would say is your superpower?
I think they would say maybe compassion.
Compassion?
Calmness and compassion.
Which is crazy to
Yeah.
think about considering your story. What do you think your superpower is?
Ooh. I would say creativity.
Creativity.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, can only come from calmness. It can't be creative getting chased by a bear.
Exactly.
So that's
right.
Considering your story, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you got to be in the prefrontal cortex.
You can't be living back there. So, Lisa, how about you? What's your superpower?
Connecting with others.
Yes. We've known each other for 45 minutes here now, and I feel like this is my sister.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely.
I just love learning about people, and I love to.
It is incredibly transparent that's what you guys have been brought to this planet to do. Even though you had to go through some shitty stuff to be able to be an authority and a storyteller and a difference maker.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a chance to take the cards that have been handed to them, their hand, and play it however they want to play it. And I'm going to kudos to you guys for choosing to take that hand and helping other people do it. You don't have to.
Just embracing what we've all been through, and really we can learn from one another. Not being afraid of our past and what it doesn't define us. What we've been through can truly be transformed. We can transform that, and we can help others with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys, we're going to wrap up here. We're going to have contacts for these guys in the show notes. You can reach out. I'm sure they'd be happy to chat with you. You guys kind of do a lot of work locally, but around the country.
Sure.
But already making an impact locally in the school systems, helping, talking, getting out, let's just talk about trauma and how this affects kids and families and stuff like that. Yep. These are your people. Memorize these faces. They're going to be making big things happen in this community, in this world. I'm so grateful to have both of you in my life and being a part of the Mostly Traverse City podcast. And we can't wait to see where this journey goes.
Thank you, sir. We're honored to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thanks for being here. And that's it for this episode of the Mostly Traverse City podcast. It just keeps getting better. We can't wait to see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep living your own kind of magic.